I just got finished installing my first modification to my Retrax EQ Tonneau cover, and it is the RealTruck Go Rack. Storage is a big thing these days, and people are always trying to find ways to add more. So this definitely allows for in-bed storage and above-bed storage. Here's what one of the side panels looks like. You can mount tons of different accessories to this rack. You've also got a T-slot on top if you want to mount something there. Here's your back crossbar, and there's your front crossbar. Let's give you a couple of different angles. So here it is from the back, here it is from the side, and here's the other side. Here it is from the top. Here's what it looks like from the front. And here's the other side. As far as the install, if you have a cover with this T-slot, it is a breeze. So let's show you that install right now. Lay your first extrusion down on a flat surface and make sure the single T-slot is on top. Notice there's a side that's flat and a side that has an angle to it. You want to take 6 T-nuts and slide them in this slot, and then take 2 T-nuts and slide them in this slot. Make sure they slide in just like this. And then your other 2 right here. Flip it over where you can see the T-nuts in the slots. Notice that this side is the angled side and this side is the flat side. Grab your first side panel. Notice that the opening goes towards the flat side. And take 3 T-nuts and slide them into position. Make sure this panel is even with the end of the extrusion, and take 3 M6 bolts and washers and hand tighten them up. Now grab your center panel, put it in between the other 2 panels evenly, and then take your bolts and put them in the T-nuts. Remember, don't tighten them up all the way. Now we want to take 2 of the shorter M8 bolts and slide them in that hole right there with the washer. Take a nut, but don't tighten it up all the way. Same thing on this side. Before we put the end caps on, take 2 T-nuts and slide them in just like this. And then 2 will go in this slot. When you're looking for the right end cap, make sure that it follows the contour of this bar, and it'll end up kinda in this position. Install 2 bolts here and 2 bolts on the back. Hand tighten 2 nuts to secure the back bolts. Here's our first connecting piece. Line these 2 holes up with the T-nuts you installed earlier, and then these 2 holes will line up with these. Take your M6 bolts and a washer and hand tighten those. Now take an M8 bolt and slide it up right through there and secure that with a nut. Other one right here. All right, we can go ahead and tighten everything down. There is a sequence that you need to follow. So we want to tighten these down with a 5mm Allen wrench and a 13mm socket. Make sure that this bracket lines up with this side piece. Now tighten these 2 bolts down with a 5mm Allen wrench. Tighten up the back bolts with a 13mm socket and a 5mm Allen wrench. Last thing you want to tighten down are these bolts that go into the T-nuts. Once you're done tightening down that side, take those 2 T-nuts you installed earlier and slide them down to this side. I'm going to get this side finished up, and now we can move on. Take all the bolts that are in the T-slots and tighten those down. The last thing you need to tighten down are the bolts that go into the center panel. You want to tighten those down with a 13mm socket and a 5mm Allen wrench. I've got these side panels complete. It really wasn't that bad of a process. Now it's time to install it in the truck. First, grab the stud plates and slide 2 in each rail. One will go towards the front and one will stay towards the back. Now you want to lift both panels into the truck, and you want to install the 2 end caps right here on the outermost slot. Before you go any further, I would make any adjustments that need to be made. Once you finish your adjustments and tightening down all the legs, you want to now attach your crossbar. You need to kind of lift this up and make sure that it's level, and then you'll want to attach 2 carriage bolts on each side. And then do the same thing on the back. Last step in the process, you want to slide your end caps on all 4 corners and then tighten them down. There's 3 screws, 1 right here and there's 2 right here. Tighten those down with a 4mm Allen wrench. This cover is very versatile, low profile, and it's a great addition to your truck. I appreciate y'all watching this. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so. Until next time, see y'all.